Hello everybody. I thought I'd do a little video on my Honda CT70. I've had this thing since about 2003. At that time I took it all apart and repainted it and fixed it up, and I've put about 500 miles on it. It's been in storage for a while. I just dug it out, and you can see it's kind of dirty, you know, and needs some service. So I thought I'd do a little video of the process. Here's the things I'd like to do to the CT70 to get it up and running. I want to remove the rear wheel and the chain, the engine guard, the carbon air cleaner, the battery and the fuel tank. Clean all these items up, and then clean the frame, everything else, and then reassemble it, get it running, and ride. Making progress here. Rear wheel, chain, engine guard, carbon air cleaner. The battery and fuel tank are under the seat, so I'm going to work on that next. But so far so good. Everything needs a good cleaning. So the fuel tank is inside here, and you can see the fuel lines coming out. This blue tape is the line that goes to the reserve valve, the reserve part of the tank. The tank is plastic, so it's underneath the seat. Let's see here. And then we've got this little cover here. And then to take the battery out, remove this plate. This is an electronic ignition for this bike. Anyway, this comes out, and then the tank can slide up and out. So here's the fuel tank. Looks like this is broken right here. This has been in dry storage, you know, hot in the summer for a few years, so these lines are hard. I'll have to get some new fuel lines. I think this is still long enough to work. This is the reserve portion of the tank. Here's the battery box and the battery. I think everything down in here will clean up all right. Here's all the parts laid out. Everything here will be cleaned and reinstalled. Won't take too long, I don't think. So a little bit about this particular mini bike. Like I said earlier, I bought this around 2003 and it was a wreck. The engine was out of it in pieces. I think it was red, if I recall. I spent quite a bit of money buying parts for this thing, and I painted it a color I liked. I didn't care about originality per se. If you look at the serial number, I don't know if you can even see that, but it's CT70 107408. So if I go over here, we've got this official Honda manual. So CT70 KO is what this one is, 107408. So that's in the first 7,408 bikes, if I'm reading that right. So it's an early model. Could be a 69 or 70. Your basic 3-speed transmission. Now this engine was, the engine that came with the bike was a wreck. So this I purchased, it's a Chinese brand, 70cc. And this is a 4-speed automatic, which I thought would be nice, but I should have got a 4-speed with a clutch, but it's nice having a 4th gear. It runs pretty good. It'll run 40 miles an hour, so it's worked okay. I can't complain, and it was a reasonable price. Upon further inspection, there was quite a bit of dirt and filth, oil, fumes got up in here. So I decided to just go ahead and pull the motor. There it is over there. Here you can see why I decided to pull it out. It's just filthy. A couple of the items have some surface rust and corrosion. So I'm going to use the bead blaster, glass bead blaster to clean it up. The bead blaster does a nice job of cleaning up the parts. I'll just spray paint them, that'll seal them up again. So I'm cleaning the rear wheel now. I've taken off the snap ring so I can take off the sprocket. And then the dust cover. And then there's these little rubber cushions in here, they just pop out. So they're just in there loose fit. So I just have to clean all this up and it's ready to go. Alright, I have things cleaned up now, so I can put it back together. One thing I'm going to do is change from a 45 tooth rear sprocket to a 38. This will give me more top end. This thing would only get up to about 40 miles an hour. We mostly did trail riding and it was good for climbing hills because with this sprocket here you got good low end torque for climbing. But I like to go a little faster, so let's see what happens. Okay, alright. Yeah, that'll be fun to try out. Okay, and then I cleaned this up and it's ready to go. Okay, so the rear wheel is ready to reinstall. Back when we were riding our mini bikes, we would ride rain or shine out in the trails. So dirt and corrosion got into a lot of areas. That's why I wanted to take this apart to get to all of this. Just get it nice and clean. Put it back on the bike, fresh. So because of this smaller sprocket here, I'm going to have to take a couple of links out of the chain so I get back within the tolerance here of adjustment. Along with the battery, I received some other things I needed. I needed some new fresh fuel line. I like this gray fuel line, it works well. It also came with these little fuel line clamps, which work well with this particular tubing. And then I have a new screw for the side cover because the one that I currently have is all messed up here, so I got that. And then I have this new grommet for the gas tank, which fits in here. Oh yeah, that is nice. All right, glad to have that. All right, moving on. So here's the old fuel lines, and I've attached the new one on there, and I'm just going to cut it right in the middle, and that'll give me plenty of extra. Okay, I made these, and I put them inside here, put a little tape on there, and then I can fish them through the body as I'm sliding the tank on. I am almost ready to put in the tank. I taped these on so I could fish the lines through. I cut a couple of foam pads with some spray adhesive. Got to stick those in, and then I can slide the tank in. Okay, I've fished the hoses through and carefully am working it in. There's electrical I have to get past. Okay. Yeah, that feels pretty good. Let's see, this will basically locate it. Okay, that's roughly in the right place. The tank is in place now, and here are the hoses. This one with the X, that's the reserve line. I installed the new grommet and the plate, cleaned up the gas cap. So I'd say that installation looks pretty good. I'm happy with that grommet. Yeah, that's nice. So I received my new battery, basically the same as this one. This battery is about 15 years old, and it has a charge about 2 volts. I tried charging it up, but it wouldn't take it. But if I go over here to the new one, 6.29 volts. These are far superior than the lead acid batteries, that's for sure. All right, I'm going to put that in here directly. So let's call this the end of part 1, and part 2 is queued up and ready to go.